Sanbonani, Molweni, Dumalang, and happy Heritage Month, South Africa. Welcome to your #1 youth current affairs show. Apa Pambili SABC 1 Expressions right here. Apa kalogu njengokunchilo ndithi SABC 1 Mzansi for sure. Dumnake okhalosa kalubisi unonkanyezi. Njengokuyi Heritage Month, ndithi mandizithuthe ndithi njengomahlo ngothi ungubani wena?
Ndikuhla ngamandla umchayi ngotolo Zulu umvumbala mpongo Liano. Kanqatsho Mzansi Africa inkosi kakhulu kholosa. And of course I am your host Liam Mavomisa. Great to have you with us on the show. Now it's exactly 5 p.m. and of course we are coming to you live and direct from our Auckland Park studios Apake Egautini. Now as the internet has brought people together, became the new encyclopedia of the world and spurred the creation of jobs, the knock-on effect and sub-industries it spawned are growing each and every single day. One such industry created and transformed through the power of the internet over time has been e-commerce and the sub-industries stemming from it. Now if e-commerce were to be a person, meet its niece called Dropshipping. Now in short, dropshipping is a form of e-commerce where sellers market and retail stock or products on the internet without holding it on premises or in a warehouse of their own. Now we have amazing guests and I'm planning on the show to unpack this beast of a market. But before we get into that particular discussion, let's have a look at a self-explainer, by the way, compiled by our very own producer, Utsegofatso Magonego.
So let's say you have been thinking about opening an online store, but you don't know where to start or what to sell. When you look around, you don't have any room for inventory. That is exactly what dropshipping is about. You see, with the dropshipping, you can sell products online without them ever being in your hand. All you need is a computer, an online store, and a basic understanding of marketing and sales. Here's how it works. First, you find the product that you want to sell from a supplier and list the product on your site at a price that you want to sell. Next, when someone places an order on that product, the customer pays you a retail price that you have set and make a profit. Then, you place the order with the supplier at a wholesale price and have it shipped to your customer. That's it.
Thank you very much once again to our producer, Tsegofatso Magonego, for that really important and very pivotal self-explainer compiled by him. Now, to help me unpack this discussion a little bit further, I have the honor and pleasure of being joined by a style icon, e-commerce business owner and a student, Uhlomani Nketane, who is also a founder of Amala Clothing. And also joining us is B.A. Pusha, who is in the studio with us. Now, he has managed to make over 200,000 in just 3 months of e-business. Thanks very much for joining us on the show.
Thank you so much for having us.
I think perhaps let me start with you, Hlomani. I just mentioned there that you are the founder of Amala Clothing. Perhaps walk us through that business.
So basically, Amala Clothing is a little brand that I started on my own. It's like literally just like an online store, and I'm based on Instagram. So literally because I'm also an influencer, I push my traffic from my people that I have on my Instagram, on my personal page, and I push all the people to my clothing brand where I sell.
But someone would want to ask perhaps that the followers that you have on your social media platforms, do you think they perhaps transcend or translate into actual numbers for customers?
Yes, definitely. I think I'd say when I started out, definitely the people who were there were people who I could say knew, because I actually was the person who was actually taking in the sales. And I obviously can see most of the people who interacted on my personal page, most of the people who actually came and bought, especially when I was starting out. So yes, definitely they do trends.
Okay, we'll get to also the sustainability question. But BA, you made 200,000 in just 3 months. I mean, I want money as we speak. So how did you do it?
Look, 200,000, yes, but you must also understand there's revenue. Right, there is profits and then there's revenue. How much you're making from that. So if you say 200,000, you have to also have the costs of shipping, customer service, and everything that goes into. So it's not profit.
Okay,
all right.
So it's the collective amount.
Collective amount. So
Okay.
200,000, you can make it less than a month or 2 months. It doesn't have to be 3 months. So yeah, it's relative. It doesn't stay the same.
But you also touch on the fact that it also filters down to the different things that you have to do within a business or to even maintain the business. So now, how much are you left with? If let's use that very same amount here, 200,000. If now you have to disperse some of that money to the different avenues within Ishishini Lako, how much are you left with? You make profit even.
The great part about drop shipping, I don't hold any inventory, right? I don't have any stock. So whatever markup I have, even if it's 100% of the product that I'm actually selling, that means I'm making 100% profit, right? Because the seller would actually tell you how much the supplier will tell you how much they're selling it for. Let's say it's a phone cover, and I decide my phone cover is going for 200 Rand, and I can put 400 Rand. That 200 Rand goes straight to me. Whatever the supplier does with that 200 Rand to go into the customer, it's actually up to them. So if you say 200K, you're looking at about 65,000 Rand that you're actually making on profit, which is actually good. But it depends on the product.
Depends on the product.
100%.
So let me come back to you, Nahlomani. You are also a student.
Yes.
Firstly, what are you studying?
I'm studying HR.
HR.
Yes.
So what would you say your education helps? How does it help you within your business, if in any it does help you? But also apart from that, I want to find out, how do you juggle now being this business owner and even juggle school?
So I would say it does help because obviously it's a BCom course, and a lot of the modules that I do have a lot to do with business and just basically the business side of it and the marketing side also of it. So I would say it does help me in terms of that. And basically, literally I had to just tell myself that I wanted to do something outside of, like, very different from what my side hustle was, because that was pretty much my side hustle. So I just had to kind of see and kind of manipulate it to kind of fit for my side hustle, and which it did also.
Okay. Now, I mean, let's also talk about, we talk about e-commerce today, Lauhlelweni, but I want to ask you in particular that, do you think, because I would say or argue that it's not a traditional job that you would have gone for, so why did you want to do even clothing in particular? What stands out about it?
I think I've definitely had a passion for fashion, I just, growing up, I just really liked clothes so much, and so I just had to find a way of how I could express it. For whoever knows me knows that I can be very masculine and be very also feminine. So I had to find a way where I can accommodate both genders in a way and manipulate it to be because how could I find a way how I could express that in my clothing, and so that's why I accommodate both male and female clothing. So yeah, I just had to. Literally, I was already good at Instagram and promoting myself on Instagram, so I thought it would be a good way to. It was way easier to just go into something that I'm already passionate about.
It already came natural. I get that.
Yes.
Now, for you, BA, would you say this is a viable job, e-commerce, and also is it sustainable?
It's sustainable, but education is very important, right? Knowledge. So people are in a rush to be a BA who started during lockdown. Okay. I started in lockdown, and I had 8 to 9 months to learn how to drop ship. So people want to get the 200K without actually getting the knowledge of how to get the 200K, right?
Perhaps you can also enlighten us on that, because I was going to just ask, sorry to cut you there, but I was going to ask, what strategies did you use in particular?
I think for me it was learning marketing. That's the main thing. At the end of the day, you need to know how to sell. You need to know how to sell on Facebook, using Facebook ads, Google ads, now TikTok ads, right? It's not something that you can just put online and hope it works. You need to learn how to, what CPM means, right? You have to learn the technology behind drop shipping. So if you can learn that, it's nice to see BA Pusha taking out 200K and showing you these screenshots, but don't fall for that, right? Fall for how did BA Pusha, because I have a track record of where I started, right? So my videos on, guys, I made 1,000 Rand all the way to 200K is there. So you can learn from those lessons, right? So it wasn't overnight.
But also I was going to ask that, what about the layman person who does not understand the technicalities, who does not even have a background of marketing? How do they go about it?
It's very simple. YouTube. right? You don't have to go to
is you for
college.
money
This is for you, right? You don't have to. The fascinating thing about it, like we had to traditionally 80s babies, right? We had to go to school for 4-6 years, get the degree, and then start earning money. You can go on YouTube for literally 6 months, learn how to run Facebook, Google ads, and you need to run ads if you're going to scale, right? If you're okay with making 5,000, 10,000, then you don't have to scale. But people, if you're in a business and you're a business person, and we're actually talking about this, scaling is very important, right? So that you get to the 200K mark. That means that YouTube is there. You can literally type in how to run Facebook ads, and it's there, right? And then there's short courses on Udemy, you know, there's short courses that are there for 250 50 Rand or 300 Rand, right? On Udemy, that can teach you step by step how to do it. So what we have, sorry to say this, it's a culture of young influencers who want to get it now, right?
Okay.
Or they just see someone who is driving a fancy car and they want to get it now, but they're not willing to learn how to do it, which is fine. I'm just saying that if you want it that bad, right, you are going to put the 6 months in and grind in that 6 months and not be seen. So just to go back, if I'm lame, I just want to start drop shipping. First thing is, do you want to start drop shipping and are you going to quit along the way, you know, after 3 or 4 months, realizing that no money is coming in? Because it's going to happen. I've lost money in drop shipping.
Inevitable,
Yeah, you know, I've lost money. You know, it's learning, relearning, and then, you know, execution.
All right.
That's it.
Yeah, well, pearls of wisdom already. Thank you very much for that.
Thank
But
you.
unfortunately, we have to quickly go to an ad break. Make sure you stay with us right on Expressions, so we'll be right back.
Welcome back. You are still watching Expressions right here on your #1 channel, SABC1. And yes, as Expressions, we are putting a spotlight on e-commerce and the sub-industries that are stemming from it, like dropshipping. Is e-commerce the new way to become an internet millionaire? Make sure that you are part of this conversation on our social media pages. Sikhona kaloku pha Facebook under the name Expressions, and at Twitter okanye x.com sikhona at expressions_10. And in studio, I'm joined by Umfumo Baloyi. I don't want to say mhlambe uyimillionaire kodwa ngathi into kubana yimillionaire ezengobuso ezweni. Mfumo, welcome to Expressions. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. And how are you?
I'm great. I mean, we just had on the desk, they were sharing about, I mean, their success stories on the e-commerce business rather. And I mean, you happened to join e-commerce. Can you share the journey? How was it for you?
Yes, the journey was nice. I started my e-commerce journey back after the COVID break. And it was me and my partner, we decided, you know what, let's try this drop shipping. We saw it on TikTok, and from there we started with our phone covers and slowly started making, I wouldn't call it small money, but a reasonable amount of money. And then we decided we want to do something that we're passionate about. So we moved into the automotive industry and cars and carbon detailing. And I mean, it was great after a while, you know, we started bringing in something, but I think, you know, the biggest thing in the game is knowledge more than anything.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so
Knowledge is indeed power. And at the time when you say you started the business, I mean, it was after COVID-19. A lot of us were
Exactly.
familiar with online buying on our cell phones. How was the market back then? And what marketing strategies were you using back then?
Well, we started with the basic TikTok, Instagram, try to share as much as of our business out there as possible. And, you know, the market that it already in requires, let me just say, a high net worth of individuals, because after COVID to then go expand again on your car, you know, and detailing and aftermarket pricing, you know, it's something that someone who, you know, has a lot of money to spend. So our markets was a bit small. The pool to pick from was a bit small, especially at that time. But we pushed as much as we can with forged tires, rims. That's basically rims that can sustain speeds, high speeds, and cornering abilities. So we decided to put that. I stay around the track in the north. So we decided, you know what, let's try push it out there and see, you know, our customers there. So it wasn't just online; it was also on the field, you know, seeing people who have these cars who are in the community and
Oh, yeah.
try to push our market as much as possible out there.
Here's the interesting part. I mean, nine months later, you decided, well, I don't want to say quit, but you actually put the business on hold.
Yes.
And I also don't want to mention the word failure because it is part of success. Can you share that with us?
I mean, the journey itself was, was a win. You know, learning the business, the in and out, and we can use the word failure because I think in failure, you get your success, you get the,
That's right.
you get the reward that maybe you didn't come for, but you still gained something at the end of it,
Most definitely.
We tried our best, honestly, but in the economic climate, economic climate at the time, we were pressed, we wanted to, we were business-orientated individuals, wanted to try get into the market as we can. And, these failures, even though we can call them that for now, I think it made the person who I am today. And I wouldn't have found this.
And I'm sure you're probably wondering and pondering, oh, you're wishing to go back and bounce back. I mean, if you were to go back to the business, what kind of support do you need? And also, I mean, looking at our education system, especially now that we are in the 4th industrial revolution, do you think it's doing enough? Because earlier on, you spoke about knowledge. That means a lot of young people are not knowledgeable when it comes to these things. Do you think our education system is also doing enough?
I think any education system, they need to teach their students about money, the value of money, how to use it. I'm not saying that the education system that we have now isn't, right? But we need to learn how to use it. And I really feel that, the more we get taught on, the value of money, how to exchange it, how to keep it, how to appreciate it, that would help us, going forward. In terms of our business, I would go back into the same industry that I was, into the same market, just with better knowledge, better understanding of the field, so I can, also spread the knowledge to those who are also looking to go into the same journey that I am going through. And yeah.
Amazing work. So it's great that when you reflect back on your journey, it's lessons, it's success stories. Amazing
Exactly.
work. So what would you say, I mean, what support do you need? And I mean, 3 months later, I mean, she made about over 200,000. I mean, 3 months later, are we going to expect the same from you?
Yes, maybe, with the grace of God. But honestly, I think we can push. We just really need more people listening to the younger people. Whether it's a small business or a big business, they need that motivation, encouragement, and again, I stress it, the knowledge of money. We just taught, to be in a system, to spend money, to get A, B, C, D, but we truly need to value and understand how we can, maybe save 20 Rand. If you get 100 Rand, save 20 Rand.
Oh, yes.
If you get 100,000 Rand, you're never going to save that 20 Rand that you did with
Financial education is the future. Mfumo, thank you so much for joining us and giving us an insight on your journey. It's really quite inspirational. Thank you so much. Right? Bugeliwe Expressions, Ganene Siyavuminto Kubani. E-commerce is definitely the future. Let's take a quick break. Do not move a muscle. We'll be right back after this.
Sithokoze futhi mbukeli la ohlelweni Expressions. So thanks so very much for staying with us as we near the wrap of this really important conversation as we put a spotlight on e-commerce and the sub-industries that are under it. Now, as we wrap it up, perhaps manqale ngawe Nahlomani. So or what would you say is the importance of brand positioning, particularly for business owners?
I think definitely having a niche. I think if you are known for something, it's going to be very easy for you to move into it, and capitalize on it or monetize on it. So I definitely think knowing that your name is associated to something is very important, because literally, I think it's the fastest way to get you to be recognized by people and for a certain reason. Okay. So yeah, I think definitely having a niche is quite important.
All right, a niche is very important. For you, BA, what's your advice perhaps to even fellow colleagues in the industry who want to tap into it?
I think it's very important to understand where we are and what we're doing, right? So in South Africa right now, we have more consumers, we have more buyers. We don't have enough sellers. And there is a very low barrier to entry. You don't need a degree. You don't need someone's cousin to hook you up. You don't need anything but just learning how to run the business from your bedroom, just get the internet connection. Even if you had to go to a library and learn the skill, you can make money literally in 10 days. That's how crazy it
All
is.
right. As we wrap it up, Hlomani, I was just interested. Perhaps talk to us about your working hours. You know, what's the normal working hours of an e-commerce business? Because one would assume that it's not the same than that or to that of a physical store.
So as you know, I am a student as well. So a lot of my time does go into my school stuff, and pretty much the times where I'm not at school, like during like after classes and or whatever, that's the time that I take to actually reply to messages, whether it's an order or to post and show what's new on my website. So usually I'd say around about like 2 hours of my day, I could say after classes, I just dedicate time to say that, okay, I'm replying to this and I'm setting up my diary to say that tomorrow I have to go in.
But is it manageable though?
It is. I think it is. It's really just about time management. Like you won't really have time if you don't make the time. Like you just have to actually give yourself time and dedicate literally just at least an hour or 2 hours in a day. And I swear you'll, like in a week, it will take you far, honestly.
take you
Just
far.
the few hours that you take in a day,
Okay.
7 days of that will take you far, honestly.
And then money-wise, as we close the show, how much are we talking here?
I know.
Yeah, you're going to share it. Because I can see you're very explicit.
No,
That's
sure,
fine.
but
That's
yeah,
fine. It's okay. Well, thank you very much for joining us on the show, and all the very best with your future endeavors. So that was, of course, a style icon, igama lakhe ke Kambe Hlomani, and also joining us, rather, I beg your pardon, is BA, who is a person that just mysteriously had a 200,000 in just under 3 months, really proving Bugelwe expressions that, e-commerce is the future of Abandabacho, and do make sure that you explore those other avenues, Kolo.
Yes, and you know what? I can say that possibilities are endless for us as young people. So go out there, Gumdomcha, and make it happen. Well, since you're now Ukama City, show me. Come on, take it away.
Bye-bye.
People laughing. Isugile makala bani. Basatina bazale magi. Achomi ufuna mali. Basatina bazale magi. Acho ufuna mali. Anything,